Hi, welcome to Cruise Day Fun. My name is Joy, and this is my husband, Dan.
Hey! So today we're going to talk about Palo.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so Palo is the Italian specialty dining restaurant that you'll find on the Disney Cruise Line ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we experienced it recently on the Disney Dream.
It was fabulous.
Yes, and we'll get into that. But you can find it on all of the current 4 ships, and I'm sure they'll be having it on the future ships, but that remains to be seen. It is an adult-only venue, so
Yes.
you got to be 18 or older in order to enjoy Palo, and they offer both dinner and brunch.
Yes.
Yes, which we will tell you about both of them because we tried both.
Yes, we did. And try and make reservations as early as possible, so so you don't get the bad news that there's no reservations available.
That's right. In fact, you want to book before you even go on your cruise. As soon as they say you can book stuff like that, book it, because we tried to book
The brunch.
We tried to book the brunch. We succeeded in booking dinner twice on the first and last night, but we weren't able to book brunch. But you had an idea for how to handle that.
Yeah, I had saw on another cruise video that to go to, on the first day, to go to the maitre d' of Palo and ask them if they have any openings or if you can just get on.
Yep. And the maitre d' said, sure, no
Yeah.
problem. When do you want to do it? What time? So that's a really good tip. I also talked to somebody with Disney Cruise Line who said, up until the cruise, go ahead and check as often as you can, because you might find that they open up some spots when somebody cancels. I did that as we indicated, and that was not successful, but that is another thing you can try. And then as soon as you get on board, head straight to Palo, talk to the maitre d', and you very well might get lucky and get to do Palo brunch or Palo dinner, because they do restrict the number of dinners you can book ahead of time too. So I have a feeling if you talk to maitre d', we could have done a third night at Palo. So.
Right, and it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
That's what my mom always said.
Right. So we're going to talk about dinner first.
Okay.
Dinner does have an extra charge though, right?
Right, it's $40 per person, but keep in mind, it's a 5-course meal.
Yeah, it's nothing against the specialty, or the standard main dining room restaurants on Disney, but in our experience, it's worth the extra money. And
it is.
When you watch what we have to show you here, you'll see why. For dinner, there are a couple different menu options. You can order each course individually, just like you would do in most eating restaurant. That's what we ended up doing.
Yep.
Multiple courses, like Joy said. Or they also have a preset wine pairing menu. And that costs, on top of the $40, another $65 per person.
So if you like wine, it is well worth it, but I'm not a big wine drinker, so...
Yeah. So you might want to check that out. We'll put that menu up here so you can take a look at it and see what they were offering at the time we sailed. Like I said, it's a preset menu, so each course is going to be already set up for you, along with the wine that they've designated. So that is an option, but we went with the individual choose each course option.
Right.
So, and we'll show the menu here so you can take a look at it. Pause if you want to take a look at the menu. But let's get into talking about the food.
So yummy.
Well, where should we start?
So delicious. Of course, the appetizers.
Well, that makes sense. So, an appetizer that we chose to share that I think is in a class all of its own is what?
Their charcuterie
Or they call
plate.
it antipasto.
Yes, or antipasta. And what they will do is they'll push a cart next to your table, and then the wait person will create a plate like you see there, and you can share it and eat it.
That's right. And they'll kind of ask you what you want. You can choose, give me some of everything, or you can say, I don't like olives, let's skip the olives, or whatever. So they're very accommodating, and this, just like anything else at Palo, if you didn't get enough,
you can always get more.
You barely have to even hint, because they'll be bringing you more if they have the slightest indication that you haven't eaten enough.
Right.
So
they want to make sure that you get enough food.
That's right. Speaking of enough food, that wasn't the only appetizer we got. You got...
I got the arugula salad with Parmesan cheese and walnuts with a light dressing. It was really good.
Yep.
And it was a lot of arugula. It doesn't show on the picture, but it's a lot of arugula, and it was really good. I couldn't even eat it all because it was so much.
Oh, and you're just getting started with the meal. And I'll just note here, we went to dinner a couple different times, so we're going to have more than we ate in one dinner to show you here. We wanted to show you as many different options as we could, share what we experienced with you. I ordered the white bean soup, which may not look and may not sound all that spectacular, but it was done very well. These weren't canned beans. This wasn't canned ham or anything like that. This was fresh vegetables, fresh beans.
It looks
very
nice.
well done, well seasoned. I guess I was looking to try something a little different than salad, and that's what I tried. On another occasion, I tried something called the shaved vegetable salad.
Yeah.
This, for me, was my least favorite thing that I had at Palo for any course. And as you can see from the picture here, it might look a little odd, but it kind of goes along with how I felt about it. It was kind of unusual, and like Joy always says,
try it.
Cruise, try something new.
Yeah, try something new because you're on a cruise. So.
Yep. And we've the dessert that I ended up choosing is something I had never had on a cruise before, and it's now one of my favorite dessert courses.
You might like it.
So it could be hit or miss, but why not try something new? So that's the shaved vegetable salad.
And if you have any allergies, just as a heads up, they ask you before they even present the menu to you if you have any allergies, and that's when you tell them if you have a nut allergy or a shellfish allergy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe now's a good time to talk about the service in general because they are very on top of it, and I'm sure at Remy, the other Disney specialty restaurant on the Disney Cruise Line ships, the service from the maitre d' up front to the servers to the cooks, who we got to meet the chef one night, nothing but the most professional and high level of service.
And they're phenomenal. I mean, they give you time to enjoy your appetizer, and then it's one wait person per table, I guess you would say, and
our server, our waitress, well, I'm not sure what they prefer, but her name was Boba.
She's awesome.
Yep, Boba from Serbia, and that was on the Disney Dream. So if you're looking for a good server, we let them know that we really enjoyed having Boba assist us on that first night. They arranged to be sure that we had Boba for brunch and for our next dinner. So,
and she is phenomenal. She definitely takes care of you and makes sure that you get all everything, the things you want.
Yep, maybe
and then
maybe more, and she just wants you to try things.
Right.
She also, just as a person, just a really awesome, cool person. We were sitting in the Cove area, the adult pool area, during the day one day, and who should come along and recognize us but Boba.
Yeah, and she was wearing like a tropical theme.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be Castaway Key Day, so she was getting ready to go help out on the island, which if you see our other videos, you'll see how that went. But that was, I think, day 3, so watch our day 3 video if you want to find out how that went. Anyway, we got it. Boba's great, but we got to talk about the food some more.
Oh, yeah.
Entrees.
Entrees.
How about the entrees? I had the ossobuco the first night. It was the first time I've ever had ossobuco. And it was served on risotto, and I really liked it. Let's talk about yours.
And I had the scallops, and the picture doesn't do it justice, but those were huge scallops.
They were.
They were like 3 for 1 scallop, I would say. And that also was on risotto, and it was really good. I've never had risotto, and it was very cheesy and buttery and rich.
When risotto is done right, it is really good. I'm a big fan. It can easily be done not well, and I don't think I would ever try to attempt cooking it because I can cook some things, but that one, you've got to really know what you're doing, and when it's done right, it is awesome.
And the scallops were cooked perfectly. It was golden, and then it was just cooked perfectly. You could taste the sea and the sea salt. It was
sea salt, Yeah. And on the other night that we went, I had the beef tenderloin. I'm still kicking myself for this photo because I didn't do a very good job of framing it so you could see the large tenderloin there because of the darker sauce being behind it. But they offered up different sauces to go with it. It was cooked perfectly, very tender. Definitely recommend the tenderloin if you are a steak or a beef type person, like that sort of thing.
And I got the bolognese with shrimp, but they were large shrimp.
Right, the garlic shrimp. Yes, yes.
And it was delicious. Oh my goodness. Very garlicky, and the shrimp tasted so fresh and so yummy.
Everything there is very well done. The quality of food is very high, and the way things are prepared is just everything was prepared perfectly. That shaved salad was just a bad choice on my part. Maybe somebody would love that, but
everything else was phenomenal.
And everything else, 4 out of 4 entrees.
Yeah, the
awesome.
Pasta was.
Yeah.
If you like pasta, that's a good pasta dish.
Right. So we've got to talk about desserts.
Yay!
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yes, desserts were very good. And we'll put up the dessert menu here so you can take a look at it. Go ahead and pause it if you want to take a closer look at the dessert menu. Plenty of awesome choices.
And if you can't decide for some reason, you can just say, they'll ask you what dessert, and one night I can't decide between this dessert and that dessert. Right. They might bring both of them to you.
They probably will. They're not stingy about bringing out the food. So if you want to try something, let them know. You had the
tiramisu.
Tiramisu. Yeah.
It was a kind of a deconstructed tiramisu. Kind of a I don't know. It was a deconstructed tiramisu, but it was good. They had like a cookie spoon, and you can see the cocoa powder on top, and then the cheesy goodness.
Yeah. So it was different than a traditional tiramisu.
Right, and they had mango and raspberry with chocolate bits on the plate itself, done very decoratively. So
I just want to point out, it's not a traditional tiramisu. We encountered the same thing when we were on Royal Caribbean, which we'll have videos of that coming up soon. When we ate at Jamie's Italian, they had a different take on it too. But Palo's, it was very good. It just wasn't the traditional thing you would probably get in an Italian bakery in most cities. Here's the thing I tried that I'd never had on a cruise before, and that's the souffle. And I couldn't decide, at least not quickly, between the amaretto and the chocolate. And so Boba's like, "Oh, I'll bring you both. Please, 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 Dan, let me bring you both." And she twisted my arm, and so I tried both. And I definitely finished the chocolate one, I know. That was my favorite out of the two. And it came with gelato, and of course the sauce that they pour inside of it.
Yeah, and it's so cool because they will open up the souffle right at the table side and pour the sauce in there for you. So it's quite a show.
It's a bit of a show. Yes, but hey, I'm all about the taste. The show was nice, but the taste, wow, very good, very good. So, do you remember what you had for your desserts?
I had
on the second night is what I'm saying, because I had the souffle again on the second night.
I had the deconstructed apple pie.
Oh, what was that called?
It was sugar-free, but it was like a deconstructed apple pie. So it ended up being more like the apple pie filling is more like an apple crisp kind of filling.
Sure. It was
with
good.
a cracker on the bottom or a cookie on the bottom. It was really good. I liked it.
This is one of those occasions where you made the mistake or made the clever choice of saying you couldn't decide between gelato and the tortata or whatever they call it.
The apple pie tortata. Something
and
like
so Boba brought you 2 different kinds of gelato.
Yes, one was salted caramel, and the other one was
cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a strawberry cheesecake, yes.
So
they were both good, but I like the salted caramel the best.
Yeah. So let's move on. Palo dinner, final thoughts, anything else we should say about it?
Definitely worth the money. You want to definitely go and experience it because the staff is amazing, the food is amazing.
Yep.
You'll leave so full
Sure. And again, book it before you go on your cruise. And if you aren't able to get in, when you want to get in for dinner or brunch, which we're going to talk about next, be sure to talk to the maitre d' when you first board. So,
and it's a very romantic and great date night.
It was.
Kind of meal.
The atmosphere is very nice. It's very, very high scale. What am I trying to say? Fine dining type of restaurant. So, and you've got a nice view of the sea, at least while it's still sunny out.
Right.
But,
and we were there about over an hour, I would imagine, just enjoying the conversation, enjoying the view, and our server was very friendly.
We were probably there a couple hours. There's no rush, so we really enjoyed that. So any comments about Palo dinner, please leave them below. If you have any questions that we can answer for you, if you're planning an upcoming Disney cruise, please feel free to leave those too, and we'll be sure to answer back. But now we need to talk about Palo Brunch.
Oh, Palo Brunch!
Oh.
If you get a chance to do Palo Brunch, definitely recommend it.
Yeah, you were really excited about that, and we were both disappointed when we couldn't reserve it before we went on our cruise. So we boarded going, yeah, well, that's one thing we're hoping to do that we're not going to be able to do, but we followed the suggestion that Joy came up with, and we talked to that maitre d', and they got us in there. So again, it's $40 per person, right? Mm-hmm. Just like for dinner. And again, I'm going to say it's well worth it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get before that you have, you go into a buffet, and they have, little areas or tables of different food.
Well,
so they have,
we're going to show them that.
Okay.
Let's show them rather than tell them about it, because it's hard to describe. I mean, it's not like the buffet that you think of when you think of a cruise buffet. This was fully staffed with people standing by, ready to help you.
Carry your plates if you weren't
and
able to.
If you want more, which you probably will after your first plate, they will go and get it for you.
Yeah.
Boba went and got it. She says, well, what more would you like? And you list off the things, and she starts to walk away and say, oh, and one more. And she gets you all of those things on the plate and brings it back to you, and then tries to get you to have a third plate. But the thing you got to keep in mind, and what you were getting at, is there's also an entree.
Yep.
So you order off the menu for an entree, and that's after doing the buffet. And then you go back to the buffet area to get the desserts, which they have a whole bunch of desserts that are really awesome.
Amazing desserts.
Right. So
they're bite-sized, thank goodness.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you can get enough of them, so it adds up to a lot of bites. So the buffet options you were talking about, let's take a look. The first area
is your bread and fruit area. So I'm a fruit girl, so I love fruit, and that. So I got a big mixture of fruit. There's croissants, almond croissants. There's different types of crackers, flatbread, and
all kinds of things. So that's the first section there. And I would be surprised if there's anything on there that's not made right there on the ship, because everything seems so fresh and so. It did not seem like you might see in a buffet in a typical cruise ship buffet.
They had
where some
fresh
of the things
berries
looked like
and
they were
cream.
shipped in.
Yeah.
Berries and cream, okay. And so that's the fruit, pastries, breadsticks, all that stuff. Then at the next area, you're going to find
the seafood area, where they had shrimp cocktails. They had seafood salad. They also had peel and eat shrimp. They also had tuna tartare.
Right.
Just crab legs.
Crab claws.
I mean, just a wide variety of seafood. Caviar.
Caviar even.
And if you've never tried caviar, this is the perfect time to try it.
There you go. So a lot of different options in that area of the buffet. And keep in mind, this is just the prelude to your actual meal, your actual entree, which you order off the menu.
I was worried I was getting too full from the buffet, and I tried to cancel my entree, and she's like, no, you gotta get the entree.
Well, the next area you'll probably save for last, but I think if I'd started with it, we probably wouldn't have gotten to any of the entree at all. But that's the desserts. What kind of desserts do they have?
So they had champagne fruit jello, and then that's in a martini glass, and then there is tiramisu in a martini glass. That was really good. They had calzones. And
you mean cannolis?
Cannolis, yeah. Cannolis, plus they had those little cakes.
The little petitfours? Mm-hmm.
Yes, that.
Yep.
The little cakes, and then you
Like
could get chocolate-covered strawberries.
Little parfaits, and just quite an assortment. Did
just
you mention
whatever
the
you
tiramisu?
wanted. Yep,
Yes, of course
I would get tiramisu.
Of course. So, here's an example of, this is my first plate, but like I said before, this was not my last plate. And then after that, you move on to the entrees. So
I like
here,
your picture of the shadow of your camera.
Maybe you don't want to notice that if you didn't point that out.
Sorry, Beth.
So here is my camera shadow over the Palo Brunch menu. So you can see here there's a lot of, more of breakfast type items on the left-hand side, along with pizzas and soups. And then there's more of a, Italian dinner or lunch items on the right-hand side. So pause it here if you want to take a closer look, because we're going to show you what we have for our entrees, which I don't think either of us totally finished, but
I chose chicken parmesan.
Uh-huh.
And I've never had chicken parmesan, believe it or not. And that was also on risotto, and it was so good. I tried to eat what I could eat because I was pretty full by the time the entree came, but it was very delicious. I mean, the chicken was cooked perfectly.
Right.
There was a lot of Parmesan cheese on it. Plus, the risotto was cheesy and rich and yummy. Yeah,
I think you made a good choice there. I ordered the calzone, and that was good. I forget exactly what it was, but a few different kinds of meats. It was very tasty, and I didn't finish it. It wasn't huge, but I didn't finish it. But I think between the two, I'd recommend the chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Both very good, though. And I feel like the main star of the Palo buffet Palo Brunch is the buffet. Yes,
definitely.
Exactly. So after that, we went and had our desserts, which
there's my tiramisu that's in the martini glass.
Yep.
And I got Dan the cannoli.
Yep. And if I had started with the dessert area, I probably would have had, 5 cannolis. But I think I was only hungry enough by then to have 1, maybe 2. But Palo Brunch, overall, very good. Very good.
Amazing. It was excellent.
Yep.
It was so good.
And ours happened to be while we were in port in Nassau, and we had a nice view of the neighboring ships and outside as we sat there by the windows and enjoyed our buffet and then our entrees for our brunch. And Boba did come over to us at a certain point after having waited on us and spent time with us for a couple different days. She says, "Now tell me, which did you like better? Did you like the Palo Brunch or the Palo dinner better? I'm just curious." And what did we say?
Palo Brunch.
Oh, you said Palo Brunch. I said Palo dinner. I didn't remember that. So it depends on your personal preference. I liked kind of the more subdued, more formal dinner experience. But you really enjoyed. You're a bigger buffet person than I am.
Yeah.
And this is the buffet of buffets.
Well, it's such a array of good, really good, well done choices that it's hard, and they're bite sized. So.
Yep. So they do it very well, and the service is extremely good on both dinner and brunch. So Palo, you can't lose doing either of those. We highly recommend Palo. I have said while we're on the cruise ship, I've said since then, I still believe that Palo was my favorite experience of our Disney cruise.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I like to eat, what can I say? But I also like the relaxing atmosphere. There's a lot of kids on the ship, so it's nice to have an area just for the adults where you can enjoy this quiet, have a drink, have a good food, be waited on, and just relax.
I didn't feel rushed at all.
Not at all.
It was just very relaxing, and they had nice, soft background music.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It was very nice.
So, have you tried Palo? Have you tried Palo Brunch or Palo Dinner? Do you have comments about anything we've shared or questions?
Let us know which ones you like the best.
Yeah, just let us know down below. They've moved the comments area recently on YouTube, so look for it just below the video and leave us your comments. And Also, don't forget what?
Give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe.
That's right. Subscribe and click that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of our future episodes. And we have a lot more coming because we have another cruise that we went on right after Disney, and we've got that coming up very soon. So we want to thank you for watching. We appreciate you tuning in and subscribing. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.